Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to Give to the Max Day. Here we are. By gosh, it's 3 o'clock Ely time, and we want to welcome you to Give to the Max Day. It's our single biggest donation day of the year. It's a 24-hour program that GiveMN does, and there is a ton of charitable organizations that are on this program. And the Bear Center, and the North American Bear Center, I should say, always does a phenomenal job with its supporters, volunteers, all of its staff, everybody that we have involved in this program. It's been great, and I want to say thank you so much. I am going to be able to move the thermometer up to roughly 63%, I think, or 64%. I'm going to look at my phone here real quick. I do know that we are at $19,146. We're at 64%, 63.8 to be exact. But I'm gonna move this to 64%. If you can give me just a second. Okay, I'm being a little optimistic. I moved it to 65, but you can see that thermometer is going up, and it's going up at a nice pace. Right now, we're dang near to the 70% mark at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We have a wonderful 9 hours to go, and we're excited about it, and we're having fun. And, you know, just a little while back here, we got introduced to a young man, and he came to us recommended by a friend, and we sat down and had a kind of a courtesy interview with him. And, you know, impressed us to the point to where we wanted to talk to him again and have Dr. Rogers talk to him. And Dr. Rogers, being the manager that he is and the bear guy, said, you know, I really like this Petey. And that is his nickname. His real name is Spencer, but he goes by Petey. I struggle with that personally, but because I don't know whether to call him Petey or Pete or, excuse me. My grandma used to have a parakeet that was named Petey. So every time I see him, I always think of my grandma's parakeet. And so right now I'm going to bring on Petey. Spencer is his real name. And Spencer, watch out for that cord right there. Step over that. Spencer's coming on for the first time, introducing you to him. He is a member of the North American Bear Center staff right now. Spencer, welcome.
Thank you, Scott.
How you doing?
Good. It's good to be here.
You got a big smile. You know, I kind of liked him because he's got a beard, and I thought that's good, although he can grow more hair than me. I don't know. We're going to have to talk about that. But, you know, Spencer has a very, very good schooling background, and he comes to us in an exciting time. Really an exciting time,
really
don't you agree?
An exciting time. Oh, yeah. We're doing a lot of developing here, so that's good to be a part of.
Okay, and you want to hold that great big black ball up to your mouth. But the funniest part of it is when Petey came on, it was an experimental type thing.
Yep.
And seeing what we can do and what we can develop for different programs for kids.
Yep.
For scout troops.
Boys and girls.
For tourist groups.
Yep.
For
kids and school groups.
And Petey actually comes with a good background. Petey, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I have spent my last 4 years doing some education and getting my bachelor's degree. I did 2 years at Vermilion Community College, and then I finished up the rest of my 2 years at Bemidji State. I got my degree in wildlife biology, so pretty good fit here at the Bear Center. There's a lot of wildlife around, so I'm happy to be here. And I have a little bit of experience in guest services over the past couple years at some of the one of the resorts locally here in Ely. So.
And I know that you had some programs that you used to run with the kids there.
Yes.
And it was pretty cool. And you used to take adults places too, right?
Yeah, and like we touched on earlier, I think in this program, sometimes you set up kids programs,
yep,
and they end up working better for the adults. So, and that's always fun. So,
yeah.
One of the things we used to do is go on some cruises and stuff, and the adults like it just as much as the kids. So it's really, really fun to see that. But
they do. And, with the opportunities here and us wanting to grow and in the tourism side of it and the educational side of it especially, part of your specialty is that you don't know a lot yet. And that is a good specialty, believe it or not. You know a lot about your field, but you don't know a lot yet about the direction you're headed in, correct?
Correct.
So that gives us a fresh face, a fresh mind to implant things into, correct?
Correct.
And Dr. Lynn Rogers has a goal to implant some things into your head, maybe.
Yes, and I've been experiencing those from a week-to-week basis. Every time I see him, I think he takes a little bit of time to give me a small lecture on something he thinks that I should lock away up here, and I do. So I've been keeping track of those, Dr. Rogers, if you're watching this. But he definitely bestows a lot of his wisdom on me, and I'm making sure to keep track of all of it.
Oh, good, good. And I'll tell you what, you got a guy that's got 50 years of study on black bears. And, I mean, being a doctor and what he's in, and highly respected across the country and the world in his field. He's known for being the bear man, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The bear biologist.
I couldn't ask for a better person to study under and learn about black bears than
No, you're not just saying that, right?
No, that's the truth. I mean, we got the bear walker. He's got everything, you know. And so it's there's nothing better, more ideal even that to learn about black bears, especially than right here. So.
Yeah, and at the age you're at, you know, you have a lot of things that you can pick up and learn. And one of the things that I don't know if everybody out there knows that Dr. Rogers is phenomenal at. He's actually one of the top birders in the area. Did you know that?
I did. You mentioned it to me. So
oh, I did? I told you already?
You did tell me already.
Oh, good. Good.
But yeah, me and him both share a passion for birds, and I do plan on learning a lot about birds from him as well. So it's a double whammy right there. You know, 2 for 1.
Pretty
That's
cool.
a good deal.
Yeah, and also he's a well-known national photographer. Did you know that?
That one's new to me.
Yes, he is. He's been on Field and Stream. He's been on just you name it as far as magazines go.
National Geographic.
National Geographic, the Discovery Channel. I mean, his videos and his pictures, and he sold a lot of pictures. And you can see from the Bear Center, we've got some other photographers in here too, but he does a phenomenal job.
He does. He truly does.
And, you know, so it's exciting for us to kind of try and fill a little bit of a niche and see what we can do with the programs that we want to move forward with. We're pretty sure where we want to take them, but we're still learning, correct?
Correct. And we're figuring out those directions that we want to take them as we go.
Yep.
And trying to find out the best fit for everybody and all the programs we could possibly do in the best fashion. So
Nice, nice. I know that you had said that, you know, some of the courses you did with the kids at the lodge that you worked at, you'd take them out and you talked about how you went down a nature trail and you'd point out certain things to them, and they'd just be blown away by the hands-on type stuff.
Yeah,
the things that they could really see.
Oh yeah, of course. And you know, you tend to think as this future generation coming up is all about screens and, you know, games and phones, and so it's really, really nice to see when you take some kids out on the trail that they're really interested in, oh, what kind of plant is this, or what kind of frog is that? So
Really?
you don't, for me anyways, I didn't see it too much. I always think of, you know, like the younger generation, like I said, as technology.
Yeah.
You know, but they love the hands-on stuff. So as long as you can get the kids out interacting with nature and wildlife, they take a natural interest in it. And
Pretty neat, and that's why we're here today, is the Cub Room and kids. And, you know, in developing programs for the kids in the Cub Room, and Give to the Max being so important to the Cub Room and to the North American Bear Center, we're asking you out there to give us a hand and help us out. Our needle's moving up, Petey.
Yeah,
did you see
it's
that?
got quite the pace on it. I've been wandering by a couple times today, and it's growing quite a bit.
It is. It's kind
We're
of fun to
very
watch
close
the red
to
move
getting
up.
there. We're almost to the tippy top.
Yeah, you get too much higher and we'll have a high fever, and that's a good thing, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's the only kind of good fever there is, right there.
That's right. That's right. And we're hoping that you catch on to Give to the Max fever for the North American Bear Center. But, you know, in the excitement side of it is you bring you bring a solid excitement to the Bear Center with the Cub Room development. As we got the kids stuff going on in there, you can help us develop stuff there. And, of course, give your input to Dr. Rogers and the group that's working on it. Also, one of the biggest things that we're working on now is utilizing the Hope Learning Center, too.
Yeah, yes.
And that was a Give to the Max or a donation project from a while back, correct?
Correct. And that we got a chance to use it, I believe, once this year for a Boy Scout troop, and that was pretty fun. We got to take out some of the microscopes that we've had sitting back there and take a look at what we found inside some fish stomachs. So that was very interesting.
You found them in fish stomachs. How did you get there?
So I went out and caught the fish, and then me and the troop or the scouts sat down and we cut open all their bellies, pulled out their stomachs, and checked out what they were eating.
So you dissected them.
Oh yeah.
Wow, and did they enjoy that?
They did, and I thought I was going to get a lot of squeamish little kids, but they were more about it than I was. Right when
Really?
we
No
started.
kidding?
Oh yeah.
How cool is that? I can remember in science class, they called it science class years and years ago. Yeah, at least 5 years back when I was in science class, that we would take electrodes and put them to a frog's leg. And you could see how the frog's leg moved and kicked
Oh wow.
by placing electrodes in certain spots. I mean, and I was fascinated with that kind of stuff. I liked everything about it. I'm sure kids today, it's good to hear they still like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's the spark we're looking for. Something that gets them interested and keeps them wanting to be interested and further their knowledge and that kind of stuff.
And they're very eager to learn at that age.
They are. They're very eager to learn.
So the best time to teach them about black bears is
right away.
at a young age,
At
right?
a young age, yep.
And I know that Petey's got a lot of learning to do. He's got a lot to do. Dr. Rogers gave him some advice and said, if you want to be ahead of most biologists about black bears, all you got to do is remember all the content in this store. I put it in my words, but that's kind of what he said.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I have to make a point to read at least or memorize a little bit every day, and I got a long ways to go. So it's going to be a fun trip, though.
Well, you got 50 years worth of his studies to put into your head.
And, lucky for me, it's already done and out there. He had to compile all of it, so I just have to read it off the thing and commit it to memory.
Pretty
he
awesome.
had to go research all of it, so I got it easy compared to what he had.
You're correct. And in the North American Bear Center, Northwoods Ecology House turned into a awestruck, it's just awe-inspiring when you walk into it.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
People at times don't know where to start. They're just amazed. And then when they leave, they're like, well, I never knew black bears were like that. Have you heard that?
Oh, all the time, and that's what we're about, finding the truth about black bears. So
isn't that just neat?
It's great.
But, behind us, Beans, we're here for the Cub Room, and I know that when I asked Petey to come on and do a little bit of a talk, he probably was a little bit nervous and said, well, what do you want me to talk about? I said, well, we got to kind of, we'll take a course, and the course is kids, and the course is Cub Room, and the course is where we're headed is to redo this Cub Room, correct?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice,
and
big
can you see
makeover.
why we need to bring it up to par?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We need like we talked about earlier, a place where the kids can go and color and create. And
yes,
we definitely have that and getting some improvements there. And then an actual bear den so they can see what it's like for a wild bear den and what goes on in one. And so we'll have the video and everything there for them so they can see cubs and mom playing together.
That's such a cool idea. That one idea I really like, because kids got a great imagination, and something we tend to lose as we get older, and it's an unfortunate thing that we do lose some of that childhood feeling, because just the excitement in their eyes is enough to get me pumped up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You do feel that?
Yeah, when they take an interest, like I said, in the stomachs and all that, it excites everybody. It relays right to you instead of just them being excited. Everybody in the room gets excited.
Yeah.
And it passes around, and it's good energy, and it's great to have.
Right, and we're excited to tell you that in Petey's last job that he had for a few years with a friend of mine, he actually brought the lodge from fairly far down in the TripAdvisor category to number one.
Number one.
In lodges.
Oh, yeah.
And places to stay. So he fits right in here with us being the number one destination to come to in Ely as far as the visit goes. We only want the best. We won't rest until we have the best.
We'll only settle for the best.
I've got all these puns and all these different things I can bring up, but it has to do with Ford commercials. But we're at the Bear Center now, right?
Right.
And one other thing I was getting from one of our moderators out there, they were worried about the red squirrels.
Oh,
and the red squirrels weren't getting enough feed. Yeah, and unfortunately, they're feeding a lot underneath the canopy, but we can't throw food out into the enclosure area. But they're going to get a lot of knockoff from birdseed, right?
Oh, yeah. They'll get all the extras and the scraps, and they'll make by on it. They have enough.
They got a lot of, what do they call that they store?
Mitten.
Mitten?
Mitten.
Okay, they call it a mitten. And what's a mitten?
It's a collection or a cache of a food for them, and what they like to do is just store as much of it as they can. And one thing that you might commonly see is they'll take over like a wood duck box or a birdhouse and just stuff it full of food for themselves.
Now, do they ever go back and find that if they get low on food?
They do. Squirrels don't have the greatest memories, but the big mitten piles, the caches, the big ones, they'll be able to find some of the smaller stuff where they bury just one in the ground they forget about often.
Now, you said squirrels don't have the greatest memory.
Yes.
Did they tell you that?
Yes, they did actually.
They
No,
did?
No.
Well, how would they remember?
So there's exactly. There's been a study that shows that they actually help forest progression because they forget where they hide seeds.
Oh, no kidding.
And that turns into a plant instead of them eating it. So
really?
They're not the greatest at remembering where
but
they
they're
left
good
their
planters.
stuff. But they are good planters.
Wow. See? I guess I know why red squirrels are good now.
Yeah.
Because I've watched them red squirrels attack Manny last year, our mannequin that was up on the platform. And they actually were diving at the birds at times to keep them away from the feed. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, yeah. They can be pretty ruthless.
Yeah, they're fun to watch, though.
Yeah, they got quite the bark on them.
And actually, you were witnessing today something on a video that you took with your phone that was pretty awesome that I have not seen before. We actually had red squirrels. You said they were boxing.
Yeah, they got up on their back legs and just started throwing punches, and it was kind of entertaining, to say the least.
That is
but,
amazing.
You know, typically you see them chasing each other around, but
Yeah.
today they just both decided no one's running and everyone's going to stand up, and they were fighting over a pile of seeds, so it makes sense. It's all for winter food.
Did Rocky win?
Oh, he always wins.
Rocky won. It's just kind of funny. He showed me the video. We might have to send it so they can put it out on YouTube. It was amazing to watch.
Yeah, I've never seen them fight like that. I've seen them chase each other and roll around,
Right.
but stand up on their back legs and go at it, I've never seen. So that was really cool to see today.
That's amazing. That just goes to show some of the other things that the Bear Center has to offer. And, we will be looking at different things that we can do throughout the year. We've got some things in the works with our trail. Petey's working on. We do have some bird feeders out on the trail now, and I think you've been able to get birds on your shoulder and on your hands.
Yeah, so we've been working on trying to be able to get the birds to come to your hand in hand, and it's been working so far for me and one of the maintenance guys, John, because we're the only ones that go out there right now. But if you go out there next to the feeder and you just have a little handful of sunflower seed, a lot of the chickadees and the nuthatches will fly right up to your hand, take one and leave, and the next one will come, and it just continues until you're out.
See,
you might get a little
so
peck
neat.
at the hand if you do run out, but I mean, it's just.
Oh, that's okay.
One,
That's
so
not going to hurt you. No. The only thing that you might have to watch out for is like the ravens or that. They might be a little more than a peck.
Yeah, definitely.
If all of a sudden they see you flying through the air and a bald eagle's got you. But getting back to the Cub Room and Give to the Max Day. Give to the Max Day is you've seen us going on today. And I think that you are probably realizing how important it is to the Bear Center.
Oh, definitely.
It is super important.
We wouldn't have a lot of the support and the things that we have and the way it's set up without Give to the Max Day. So
that's right.
It's very important.
That's right. And I told him that if he's hanging with us next year and we're going ahead and moving ahead, which we're excited about, this is going to be an important program for him to be helping us out with.
Oh, very
much so. So we want to say thanks to everybody out there. I know that our goal's probably moving up. We probably have got our golden ticket in by now, and I don't know if we've I would guess if we received it that I would have heard already. I did feel my phone buzz, but I'm reluctant to look at it while I'm talking. But we're getting up toward that 70% area, and we do have some really cool things up and coming. Petey, our next program is at 4 o'clock. It's Judy Thone talking about interns, bear educators, and kids. And again, everything we do relates to this Cub Room. Everything we do that we're doing right now relates to the kids, bringing them up so that the next generations can protect and watch over the black bears and know and understand them, correct?
Yeah, and know the truth.
And know the truth that Dr. Lynn Rogers found in his studies. And then at 5 o'clock, we've got that Q&A. At 3:30, we're done taking questions, and we'll answer whatever we can. 6 o'clock is after the 5:30 broadcast. We're not back on until 7 o'clock, 7 p.m., and that's going to be a fun one. That is with Dr. Rogers and
the man himself.
And Donna, his
Whoa.
wife. And I'm telling you what, it's too bad you can't be here for that one because it's fun to watch. They are a fun couple. And then we continue our schedule as we'll tell you each time. Hopefully we'll have some exciting news by then. Which we do anyway. I mean, we're moving the thermometer. I don't know why I'm saying it that way.
We're probably pretty close to 70 since we started talking.
Oh, I'll bet you we have. It's probably just because you're here. And they're seeing a fresh face, little hairy but good, and they're seeing a North American Bear Center hat.
Oh yeah, this is the best item in the gift shop.
And the shirt. Look at that shirt. Huh?
Not too bad, right?
Not bad. Yep.
Got some style here.
That looks good. You're styling. And, yeah, he's been wearing that every day since he started here. So that's
I
cool.
wash it. I wash it.
Do you? Well, I
Yeah.
believe that.
Okay.
I believe that. But again, we want to say thank you out there. Thank you for Give to the Max Day, and thank you for whatever you've given to us or you're going to give. And we just ask that you continue to help us out to reach that goal of $30,000. You guys, we're not that far away.
We're
We're
really
about
close.
35% away. That's nothing. That really isn't much.
Oh, not at all. We're making it for sure.
So we're going to keep going here. And Petey, we thank you for being on.
Thanks for
and
having
the group being able to meet you.
Yeah, it was great to be here. Thanks for having me, Scott.
Thank you. You guys will be seeing you in about 40 minutes or so. Or if we have some breaking news, we'll come right back on. Thanks again.
Thanks
Bye.
for the support.